Hi, I'm Tink, and welcome to episode 11 of Operation Animal, where I spout off random facts about animals on the endangered species list. On today's list, I'm going to talk about 3 birds, a reptile, and an invertebrate. On last week's episode, I talked about one of the AZA accredited zoos that I will be visiting. One of the species on this list is part of the species survival plan at the Memphis Zoo. Can you guess which one? Now for today's list. Number 1 is the Alamosa spring snail, a mollusk that is only found in Socorro County, New Mexico. This freshwater snail is highly vulnerable with groundwater changes, aquatic insects, and fish eating them, and human disturbances. They are now only found in 5 individual spring heads within a half a mile of each other. I have looked high and low for a photo of this particular animal and have been unsuccessful. So here's a drawing by Irene Meniconi. Being gray or black with a translucent spiral shell, the females are 50% larger than the males. At a whopping 0.1 inch, this prosobranch species has gills in front of its heart. The spring snails are separate sexes, unlike other snails that are hermaphrodites. Plants are animals with both male and female sex organs. They prefer warmer waterways, living in thermal spring heads around 62 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. These gastropods eat algae, bacteria diatoms, and organic detritus, while improving water quality, keeping algae from taking over, and balancing the springs they are in. On to number 2, the Aliotra grebe, which was only found in Lake Aliotra and surrounding lakes in Madagascar. The last sighting was in 1985, but they weren't officially declared extinct until 2010. This water bird went from predator, diving between 3 to 6 feet to hunt for small fish and aquatic insects, to prey when carnivorous fish, like the blotched snakehead, was introduced into Aliotra Lake, hunting the grebe's vulnerable chicks and becoming competitive with them for food resources. They sadly helped bring about the bird's demise. At only 9.8 inches and with small wings, their flight was restricted to the lake. Unlike some birds, they were not migratory. While the males were larger, both sexes had yellow eyes and a rusty chestnut neck plumage, liking reed beds and papyrus clusters with separate flattened paddle-like lobes on each toe instead of fully webbed. This aquatic animal's feet and legs were closer to the back, making them clumsy on land. For number 3, we have the Aldabra giant tortoise. This opportunistic omnivore will eat meat, but is primarily herbivorous. Getting up to 550 pounds, the males are larger than the females, which are around 350 pounds. They are tan or brown with a high dome carapace, their shell, with a long neck that can reach up to 3.4 feet. Not all of these tortoises are sedentary. Some will roam around the islands they call home in the Seychelles Islands. Living a long time, the oldest recorded was Jonathan, a Seychelles giant tortoise, which is one of 4 subspecies of Aldabra giant tortoise, lived 194 years. The highest population is on the Aldabra Atoll, a protected UNESCO World Heritage Site and Special Reserve. Temperatures determine the schedule for the day, basking around sunrise, grazing till midday, and then using shade trees, caves, and even a quick dip to cool because they are ectothermic, cold-blooded. Wallowing in mud protects them from mosquitoes while sleeping up to 18 hours. Being able to drink through their nose, they use the nasal passages like a straw and have a flap that keeps the water out of their lungs. These grazers make tortoise turf, a specialized low-growing ecosystem shaped by them, the perfect lawnmowers. They have been deemed vulnerable with climate change, human interference, and may need to be relocated to higher elevations due to rising sea levels. Number 4 is the Aldabra brush warbler. Discovered in 1967, these passerine birds were only observed for 15 years. The last sighting was in 1983, and they officially declared them extinct in 1994. These shy birds got up to 5.9 inches. With a slightly curved bill and olive brown plumage and lighter underbelly, their wings were short and the tail was long. Both sexes blended into the background and preferred dense scrub and mangrove forests to provide protection and food. Primarily ground foragers, these insectivores liked spiders, caterpillars, and ants. During breeding season, males would become territorial and did courtship rituals, and females laid a clutch up to 3 eggs. Their contribution to their ecosystem was pest control. Their demise was due to habitat destruction and introduction of invasive species by humans. Unfortunately, no recordings were taken of their calls, quieting their voices forever. And lastly, number 5, the Algerian nuthatch, a medium-sized nuthatch that got up to 4.9 inches and are sexually dimorphic, with males having a black crown and females' crown is gray. They have bluish black backs, creamy beige underparts, and a white throat. They molt after breeding. These omnivores prefer insects in the summer, controlling the insect population, and feed on pines and fir tree seeds in the winter, serving as an indicator species of old-growth forest health. They are sedentary, having a limited range now, making a nest in a hole of the trees. The females incubate the eggs, and both parents take care of the chicks. The adults whisper to alert others of intruders in their habitat, which is located in Algeria, mainly in the Kabylia region. They primarily reside between 1,150 to 3,670 feet high. They are a protected species due to their endangered status. Deforestation, fires, erosion, and humans are their major threats. Why did I mention animals that are no longer with us? This is a cautionary tale about fragile ecosystems and the importance of conservation. Hopefully, what others have learned from the extinct species can be useful to survival of the others. The animal in the SSP is the Aldabra giant tortoise. If you make it this far, comment the above emoji. Stay tuned for next week's Operation Animal, Episode 12, where I talk about a reptile, an invertebrate, 2 mammals, and a vertebrate. Goodbye.